Leeds 1, Manchester United 1. This is your full-time match reaction from Ellen Road on this Sunday afternoon, where Matthias Cunha has rescued Manchester United a point, but again, a point is not enough again today. 2 points from 6 against Wolves and Leeds in our last two Premier League games. It's not looking good for Amorim. It's not looking good for Manchester United. And we did have a big opportunity to go level on points with Liverpool and go into the top four, into the Champions League spots before even Liverpool have kicked a ball this afternoon against Fulham away at Craven Cottage. And every time we get an opportunity, Manchester United always seem to throw it away. 2 points from 6 against Wolves and Leeds. It's simply not good enough. And there'll be fans celebrating a point. There'll be fans and supporters celebrating a draw. And there'll be plenty of people celebrating, well, at least we got a result. At least we got something from today's game. I'm sorry, if you want to celebrate a point and you want to celebrate a draw and you want to celebrate the result, I'm not going to stop you. But at the end of the day, we shouldn't be celebrating a draw. We shouldn't be celebrating just a point. We should have beat Wolves. We should have beat Leeds today. I thought when we got the equaliser, we would go on and win the game. But if you look at that squad, if you look at the bench, if you look at the players Ruben Amorim has got left and he's got available to him at this moment, I didn't see any time Manchester United were going to win today's game. I thought there was plenty of opportunities for us to find the back of the net, which we didn't take. We were the better team in the second half, I would say, from today's game. I thought we were the better team. I thought when we found the equaliser, we would go on and win the game quite comfortably. But if you look at the lack of quality is visibly being shown. I think, again, Sesko has had an absolute horrific game today. Again, we've got too many learner drivers in this team. We've got too many Projects FC at Manchester United. And unfortunately, there's a lack of Premier League experience in that Manchester United team. And it's telling week by week that that squad and that team is massively suffering. There's too many learner drivers. There's too many Projects FC. There's not enough experience in that team to win us games. There's not enough experience. There's not enough quality. And Amorim has been stuck with the same squad since Newcastle. He's been stuck with the same squad since Newcastle. And unfortunately, that isn't good enough. That isn't good enough. And when you've got the owners, when you've got Omar Barada, you've got Ineos, and now you've got the Glazers interfering in Amorim's plans, basically saying, don't expect anything to happen in January. Don't expect any new signings. Don't expect any new players to come in. What hope has Ruben Amorim got? What hope has Ruben Amorim actually got of surviving as a Manchester United manager? I don't think there's no hope. I don't think there's any way back. I think Amorim, again, is going to be on very borrowed time after today's result, because a point against Leeds, people will celebrate it. We got a result. We got something from the game. At least we didn't lose. We deserve to go 1-0 down because Delo and Heavens defending from that goal is absolutely, quite frankly, pathetic. I thought we would win today's game. I thought we would win comfortably against Leeds. But that's nearly 7 to 8 games in a row that Leeds have now gone unbeaten. So you've got to applaud what Leeds United have done since they've been back in the Premier League. And to be honest with you, they deserve their goal. The defending from Delo is quite frankly horrendous. He did give up the ball away. And then Heaven was left with a simple one-on-one. And again, he didn't do anything there to stop the Leeds United players scoring their opening goal. So again, the opening goal from today's game is massively on Aidan Heaven and is massively on Diego Delo as well. Percy has said Sesko is shite. Sesko missed 3 easy chances. Can't stand Delo either. We sold Hoyland to buy someone worse. Danny said it's not good enough. Xerxes was good when he came on, exactly. Whoever says Sesko is bad, they are stupid, because where is the service? Sesko's better than Hoyland all day long. Aidan Heaven switched off for the goal, completely agree with that. Another Mellon just copying Goldbridge with silly analogies. I don't have silly analogies. It's called telling the truth. It's called being honest. Manchester United have got 2 points from 6 against Wolves and Leeds, and people think that's acceptable. People think that's okay. People think it's okay to pick up a draw. People think it's okay to not win against Leeds. Leeds were there for the taking in the second half. We got our equaliser, and fair play to Amorim. He actually deployed Xerxes in a good position, because obviously he did provide the assist for Matthias Cunha to find the United equaliser. But as soon as we scored that goal, what did we actually do after the goal? What did we actually do? Did we create anything? We had 2 glorious chances again through Sesko, which he didn't take. And unfortunately, this shows why Ruben Amorim wanted Ollie Watkins. This is why Ruben Amorim wanted Ollie Watkins brought in as his striker. He didn't want Sesko. He wanted Ollie Watkins, and Manchester United said no. This is the problem. We've got too many learner drivers and we've got too many Projects FC at this football club. And now you've got Ineos, you've got Sir Jim, you've got the Glazers basically telling Amorim, don't expect anything in January, don't expect any new signings, and don't expect anything to happen in this January transfer window, because apparently we have to sell to buy to bring players in. And apparently they won't invest in the current formation if Amorim continues to play a 3-4-3, which was actually a true statement that was brought out this week. So I don't think Ruben Amorim's got any hope. I don't think Ruben Amorim has got any chance surviving as a Manchester United manager much longer. I don't think he's got any chance surviving, because that squad is the same squad against Newcastle. That squad was the same team against Wolves. Ruben Amorim has basically had to pick the same starting 11 the last 3 games in a row. And I don't think that's fair. I don't think that's acceptable. That squad needs signings. We need to spend in January. And Manchester United are basically trying to get by to the summer. We had a huge opportunity to go into the top 4. Manchester United have blown it once again. So if results go against us, which I do fully expect to happen, then Manchester United are in big trouble. Manchester United are in big trouble. And I would expect us to slide down the Premier League table very quickly if results don't go our way today. Man United are an issue. Manchester United have got big problems. We should have won today's game. We had the confidence to go on and win that game. We created chances, but we don't put the ball in the back of the fucking net. And this is like this week in, week out. The only decent player that probably can hold his head high today was Matthias Cunha, because he got the goal, he got the equaliser, and I'm going to applaud his work rate. At least he actually provided something of a glorious moment for those fans today that did travel to Ellen Road. Because apart from that, what did we actually do? What did we actually do? How I wish we still had someone like Cavani. Completely agree. Sesko is awful. He needs to go. Amorim lit his nothing to work with, bro. You couldn't beat us with all our first team missing. We would have won comfortably with that team today. People saying Sesko is awful need their eyes checked. Putting Dorgu and Dalot on the same side is asking for trouble. Completely agree. If we had Mbeumo, Bruno and Ahmad, we would have destroyed them. Sesko is shite, says Percy. Sesko played well, says User. Heaven is 20. I'm not going to be harsh on him. Can't blame Heaven. Sesko missed too many chances. Why was we playing the long ball all the time? God knows why we were doing that. Hostile atmosphere and we played well. Sesko missed an absolute sitter from the cross. Putting Dorgu on Dalot's side is asking for trouble. Dorgu was the worst player on the pitch. Saying we would steamroll Leeds at home is wild. The form we are in versus them. We are lost without all these missing players, too badly lost. Martinez was the best player on the pitch. Nah, just beyond that, I thought a draw was justified. Cunha has that fight in him, same as Martinez. I don't think we deserve to win today's game. I don't think we deserve to win today's game. Manchester United were awful in the first half, and you've got people on TNT Sports absolutely waxing lyrical how great Manchester United were in the first half. I mean, this is the problem with having these types of games on TNT Sports. The crap that comes out those commentators' mouths is absolutely horrific. Apparently we played really well. Apparently we were the better team. Apparently we steamrolled Leeds in that first half. I don't know what game they were watching, because what did we do? It finished 0-0 at half time, and apparently we were the better team. We absolutely ripped Leeds apart. I don't know what game people are watching. We were fucking horrific. We were fucking terrible. And to be fair, we had 3 decent chances inside that first half to score goals. You look at the through ball from Casemiro to Sesko, hits it straight at the Leeds centre-back. You look at the chance from Lenny Yoro from the Casemiro assist from the corner, was straight at the fucking Leeds goalkeeper. And then you look at the Dorgu chance just before half-time, and it doesn't even hit the fucking target. So we could have been at least 3 or 4-0 up at half-time if we would have taken all 3 of those chances. And the problem is, you've got all 3 of these players on the end of the shot. Dorgu, there's a lack of experience. He's a learner driver. He's another project. And it's the same for Sesko. And I think Sesko is going to take a lot of hits today. I think Sesko is going to take a hell of a lot of bullets, because he was dreadful. He had 3 clear chances to put that ball in the net. Sesko could have had a hat-trick if he was a better player. But unfortunately, Sesko doesn't take those chances. And again, he's a learner driver. He's another project. And this is the big problem. We don't have an experienced striker down the middle of this football club. We went with Sesko. He's another problem. He's another Rasmus. And Rasmus Højlund was in exactly the same position. He was a learner driver. He was a project. And the problem is Manchester United didn't want to go and get an experienced striker who could put that ball in the net. And who is that on? That's on Barada, that's on Wilcox, that's on the Glazers, that's on Ineos. Because they believed Sesko and Rasmus were the answer. And unfortunately, based on Sesko's performance today, Sesko is going to take a hell of a lot of a beating, because he's had 3 chances to score a hat-trick and he doesn't take none of the 3 chances. That says a lot about the striker we've got at this football club. Yes, he's got height. Yes, he's got aerial ability. But what's that going to do in terms of putting the ball in the back of the net? What's that going to do? If you can't take those 3 chances, it says a lot about the type of striker that we don't actually have. We needed a Harry Kane, and I don't understand why we didn't get Harry Kane when we had the opportunity to go and get him out of Spurs. And people will say there would have been no way Spurs would have sold Harry Kane. They would have sold Harry Kane to Manchester United if we would have put in a ridiculous, stupid bid. Harry Kane would have then pushed for the move, and Harry Kane would have ended up being a Man United player. But Ten Hag ignored Harry Kane. He went with Rasmus. Amorim got rid of Rasmus to bring in Sesko. And Sesko again is a project. Sesko again is a learner driver. And this is the problem. There's definitely a player there, but there is a lack of service. I will say that. There is a lack of service to him. I would say that to justify Sesko's chances he missed today. There is a lack of service. Again, Rasmus Højlund had exactly the same problem. There was no service to him, and he couldn't put the ball in the net. Sesko is in a graveyard shift. Sesko is in another graveyard shift. Just exactly the same situation that Rasmus Højlund found himself in the 2 seasons he was here at Manchester United. So are we really surprised Sesko doesn't score those goals? In hindsight, yes, because the 3 chances he had today were quite easy to put into the net. But again, there is no fucking service to him. We've got Dalot and Dorgu on the same side of the pitch. Where's the service from Sesko on that moment? Where's the service coming from the right? You've got Dorgu and Dalot on the same side of the pitch. Not just in the first half, but in the second half as well. They were on the same side of the fucking pitch. And this is what annoys me. You've got no service from the left. We've got no service from the right. And as for the midfield again, surprise, surprise, the midfield's getting fucking walked through once again. It doesn't surprise me. It really, really does not surprise me that midfield is getting walked through. We've had Ugarte and Casemiro since fucking Newcastle. We've not done anything in January. The transfer window is open. We have wasted 4 fucking days. And if you're telling me that squad, apparently, according to Sir Jim, is good enough to qualify for Champions League football and to get into Europe, he is massively, massively mistaken. That current team on our current form is nowhere near capable of being in Europe. If we were in Europe right now with those players we've got available at the moment, we would get absolutely steamrolled by PSG, Real Madrid, Bayern Munich, Man City, Liverpool. We would get absolutely taken apart. There would be no chance United would survive in Europe at all. We wouldn't even make it to the knockout rounds playing the way we are. Because the football is shit. Amorim keeps tweaking the bloody formation and the setup week after week because nothing's going right. We've now got the Ineos and the Glazers and Omar Barada and Jason Wilcox interfering with the manager's plans, basically dictating to him, using Amorim as a puppet on a string, basically saying you won't get players, you won't get signing unless you change this formation, unless you change the way we're playing. I mean, what confidence does that give to a manager when he's got his superiors above him dictating to him, you will do what you are told, you are a puppet on our string, and you will do as you are told? What confidence does that give to Amorim? Because you can tell by his body language, he needs signings, he needs backing, he needs players brought in this January transfer window right here, right now. Because we've picked up 2 points from 6. Leeds were there for the taking. Leeds' goal is down to poor defending from Dalot and poor defending from Aidan Heaven. That situation could have been avoided if Delot yet again keeps giving the ball away and Aiden Heaven can't seem to keep up with the Leeds defender, the Leeds attacker, and that Leeds attacker just storms past him like Aiden Heaven's not even there. Again, a big fan of Aiden Heaven, but he has to do defensively a lot better there than what he did today, because that situation was avoidable, but it didn't help because Delot gave the ball away from the resulting pass. If that doesn't happen, we probably don't concede that goal. But Delot's been on that right side of the pitch, not just in the first half, but in the second half as well. This is why we're in the situation that we are in, because we are fucking shit. We've got players who ain't fucking good enough. We've had some players on that pitch that have played 94 fucking minutes today, and we made one change. And again, Joshua Zirkzee, to his credit, fair play to him for getting the assist for Kuna's equaliser. Fair play, because he had an absolute nightmare against Wolves, didn't he? If we're all being honest. Zirkzee had a nightmare against Wolves, but fair play to him for getting the assist to find us our equaliser. Because if he probably doesn't play that pass through to Kuna, we probably are still 1-0 down. And again, it's a very, very good finish from Matthias Kuna. I applaud his work rate. A lot of people still get on his back. But again, at least he's putting in the work rate. At least he's putting in the effort. And at least he found us the goal to get us back on level terms. Because if we don't find that goal, we lose this game 1-0. And Amorim's probably out the door by Monday morning. But I would still say Amorim's a dead man walking. I would still say, even after a draw, Amorim is still a dead man walking. Because these results ain't good enough. We should have beat Wolves, there's no excuse. And we should have beat Leeds, there's no excuse. But those players he's got ain't good enough. And people will say, well, we've got fucking so many players at injury. Granted. People will say, well, we've got all these players out through AFCON. Granted. But at the end of the day, the players we've got available, the players that we have still got left, should still be able to do a job and should still be able to get us a result. But unfortunately, you look at those players, who can you rely on? Which players are good enough to give us some quality? There isn't any quality in that current team. The only player we've got at the moment that's got any quality is Matthias Kuna. He's the only one that can come from away from Ellen Road tonight with his head held high. He's the only one that puts in the work rate. He's the only one that puts in any kind of effort. And it doesn't surprise me because we've seen it from day one, what a type of player and the quality he's actually got. Because he was doing it for Wolves last season, week in, week out. And he's brought that form from Wolves to Manchester United now. So I'm not surprised, again, he's the only one working his fucking ass off. Because I look at the rest of the team, who's putting in 100%? Because I don't think Dorgu is. Delot, we know, doesn't. Lemens obviously doesn't even try to attempt to save the Leeds United opener. Again, just stands there like a fucking statue. But people say, well, what could he have done about it? Look at the way the Leeds attackers hit that shot into the back of our net. But our goalkeeper shouldn't have just stood there like a fucking statue. You should at least try and dive to save it, or at least try and prevent it from going in. You don't just stand there on the spot. You've got to try and at least make an attempted save for the ball. But unfortunately, he just stands there like a fucking melon and lets the ball roll into the net. And unfortunately, I'm not putting blame on Lemens at all, but he should have done better instead of just standing there being completely wide open to the Leeds goal. And unfortunately, this is the type of players we've got at this football club. They ain't fucking good enough. They ain't good enough, bruv. They ain't good enough. And we should have won. We should have won this game today. But again, look at the players we're relying on. Hey everybody, how's everybody doing? Hey Jane, how you doing? Sesko was our last choice to shows. We are too slow in moving in windows. We need to be on the front foot. Another game where we blow a chance to go into the top four. How many times are we going to keep blowing it exactly? Good. Glad to hear it and everything. Glad to hear everything is all good. We've blown it today. We have massively blown a huge opportunity to go into the top four. We could have gone above Liverpool on goal difference. We could have gone above Chelsea. We could have been inside the Champions League spot state if we would have beat Leeds. Leeds are shit. No disrespect, Leeds ain't that good. They may have gone 7 to 8 games unbeaten, but they're a fucking championship team at best. They're probably going to survive. They're probably going to stay up because West Ham, Burnley and Wolves are all dog shit. Leeds are probably going to remarkably survive another season in the Prem. How they're doing it, absolutely God knows, because there was rumours they were going to sack Daniel Farke, and he's doing an excellent job at the moment to keep Leeds where they are in the league. They're not in the relegation places, they're not in that bottom three, and they probably do deserve a point. They probably do deserve a point. They deserve a point. Based on the way they got their goal, they probably deserved a point, but they didn't exactly help themselves by the second half situation. They didn't help themselves by conceding an equaliser quite early on. They didn't hold on to their lead that long, and obviously Ellen Road went very, very quiet. There was a huge opportunity when we got that equaliser to go on and win the game. But what did we do? What did we do? The midfield is getting walked through week in, week out. It's like Ineos and the Glazers and Sir Jim cannot see that midfield is a big fucking problem. That midfield is shit. We've basically got Agata and Casemiro for Burnley. Exactly. Shea Lacey again. Another player, a nice youthful attacking player on the bench, got ignored for 94 minutes. Didn't even get a kick in today's game. Clearly Amorim's treatment of these youth players is nothing more than a joke. Obi doesn't even get on our bench today, which again I cannot understand, where we could have done with an extra attacking option going forward to go and win that game. Because all you did was make one sub. That's all we did. And exactly, last game he didn't come on, today he didn't come on either. So that's nearly 190 minutes of football that Shea Lacey's been ignored for. Obi doesn't even get on our bench today. And I don't understand why Amorim has got this treatment of treating these youth players like a pile of shit. But again, maybe Amorim doesn't rate these players. Maybe Amorim thinks these players ain't fucking good enough, and maybe he doesn't want to chuck them on. Maybe he doesn't want to throw them on at the deep end because he knows he'll get bloody crucified for it. Because it was like this against Wolves, and it's now like this against Leeds. 2 points from 6, Amorim. 2 points from 6. That ain't good enough. I'm sorry. That ain't good enough. We're fucking Manchester United. We're not Stoke City. We're not Stoke. We're meant to be Manchester United. And the way we are performing, we should have won both these games today. Both these last two results, we should have won. 2 points from 6 is a joke. And if you're going to keep performing like that, then there's no hope for this manager. He then switches the formation to a 4-4-2 to try and go on and win the game, but doesn't then realise again the midfield, you've got Casemiro and Agate playing 94 minutes again. But people will say, well, what's he meant to do? He's got no other midfield options to choose from. What's he meant to do? Well, at the end of the day, I can understand what you're saying, but we needed to freshen that team up. That team was dying in the second half. Those players were absolutely fucking knackered. And this is the problem. There's no options. There is no options to replace half of these first team shits. There's no options for Amorim to pick. No Maguire, no De Ligt, no Mount, no Fernandes, no Mainu, no Mbeumo, no Mazraoui, and no Ahmad. What's he meant to do? And I sympathise with Amorim on that aspect. He's missing these players. Granted, I understand he's missing that quality in all those 8. Because all those 8 are first team players. I understand and respect that. But at the end of the day, we need to get these players back in. We need to force these players back in. You may not be 100% fit, granted. But come on. We can't play the same team against Burnley. We can't play the same team against Brighton in the FA Cup. And if this is the team against Man City and Arsenal, we're going to get fucking steamrolled. And it's not just going to be by 2 or 3. It's going to be by 4, 5 or 6. Because the team's on its knees. It's like Ineos, the Glazers and Sir Jim are completely blinded by the light and don't see that we have got glowing problems in that team. No midfield options, no attacking options, and apparently we can only bring players in if we let players go. So are we using FFP as an excuse? Are we using sell to buy as an excuse again just to fucking not back another manager? Because we're nearly at the 5th of January, and I don't think people will realise the days are going by quite quickly. January is going quite quickly already. We're on the 4th already. We're nearly kind of into February. So people will say, oh, there's still plenty of time. People don't understand that these days are going quick. That team needs signings. We need to bring some players in. We can't just sit there and not do anything because everyone around us is buying players. Liverpool are apparently going to do it. So are City, Arsenal, Chelsea, Spurs. Everybody around us in that league is going to strengthen their squads. And we're just sat on our lazy ass doing fuck all to improve the team. Amorim might as well walk. Amorim might as well just resign. Amorim might as well, do you know what? I can't do anything with these players. This squad ain't good enough. If you want European football, you're going to have to back me and give me some players. Because what if we lose Casemiro or Agate to injury? The midfield's on its knees. What if you lose Sesko? What if you lose Xerxes? And people will say, you want Xerxes to go. I do want Xerxes to go. But to be fair, he had a fantastic game in the second half and he got an equaliser for the Kuna goal. Fair play for getting that assist. Fair play. But he doesn't want to be here, remember. He doesn't want to be here. He wants to go to Roma. He wants to go back and play in Serie A. And again, he did really, really well in that second half to find that assist. Fair play to him. But if he wants to go, you've got to let him go. But apparently, Amorim doesn't want to let any of these players go unless replacements are brought in. So we are back to sell to buy again. Which, again, I don't understand. I don't understand why we've gone back to that again. I really, really don't understand. Man United needed Bruno to be fit because if Bruno wasn't injured, we could have won. In the FA Cup, we need to see JJ Gabriel. I don't expect to see any of these youth players in the FA Cup. And I don't expect to see any of them against Burnley. Our season's over. Let's be honest. Let's call a spade a spade. Our season's over. Our season is over. There's nothing we can do about this situation now. It is what it is. It is what it is. We can't do anything now. The season's already over. The season's already gone. Man United are in an absolute crisis. The performances on the pitch, especially in that first half, were fucking horrific. I don't know what people were seeing with their eyes, and I don't know what those TNT Sport people were looking at. We were dreadful in that first half. We had 3 clear chances to score. Dorgu didn't take his chance. Yoro didn't take his chance, and nor did Sesko. The only chance we took in the second half was for Acuna. And people say he does too much with the ball. He doesn't know when to pass it. He does too much running with it. He doesn't pass the ball. He doesn't pass it to his teammates. At least he works his butt off. At least he's actually doing something in that squad. Because the rest of them are lazy, lazy bastards. A lot of those players do not step up. A lot of those players make the same mistake after the same mistake after the same mistake. And Amorim keeps giving players lifelines. These players have got more lives than a fucking cat. It's unbelievable how many chances a lot of them get. And again, people will say, well, they have to play. Amorim's got no players left. What do you expect him to do? I expect players to be in that team on merit, on performance, on consistency. A lot of those players don't fucking do it. A lot of those players don't do it. And a lot of these players are getting away with it as well. A lot of these players are getting their hand held by a lot of these fans. A lot of these supporters will kiss the ass of some of these players and live right up their ass crack. And unfortunately, this is the problem. The fan base is getting to the standards of this football club. They don't really care anymore because we know we're all so shit. We know we all know we're shit. We all know we ain't good enough anymore. The fear factor's gone. No one is scared of Manchester United anymore, and that's the truth. No one is scared of us. We're performing the way we did against Wolves. We performed exactly the way we did against Newcastle. Everything was looking all right up to the Villa game. Everything was looking all right. And all of a sudden, it's just gone fucking pear-shaped, isn't it? It's just going to get worse and worse and worse and worse. And I'll tell you what, if Amorim doesn't get signings and he doesn't get backed in January, you might as well call it quits. You might as well just call it quits and say, do you know what? I'm going to go in May, find yourself a new manager to work with this lot. But the problem is a lot of these players who are here at the moment are going to get another manager sacked. I mean, Casemiro got Ollie sacked. No, Casemiro got Ragnick gone. Casemiro got Ten Hag gone. So did Bruno. So did Delo. How many of these players are still here that have got previous managers sacked? We need a big clear out. That's the only thing I can say that is we need a fucking big clear out in the summer. We need to get rid of at least 8 to 10 players and bring 8 to 10 in. We need a complete rebuild because based on today's performance, we ain't good enough. We didn't deserve to win today's game. I thought when we found our goal, we would win quite comfortably in the second half, but fair play to Leeds for holding on for a point. Fair play to them because they did deserve a point today. I don't think Leeds, in my opinion, I think Leeds would have felt very unjustified if they would have come away with nothing. Their unbeaten run is there on paper. Their unbeaten run is quite clearly there by the naked eye to tell how well they've actually done. Fair play to them because they play better football than us. They've got better players than us. They've got better options than us going forward. And they've got quite a youthful team. A lot of those players we've got are passengers. We've got more passengers than the Polar Express. Honestly, it's embarrassing. We are basically just like a slow-moving train and we're going at 5 miles an hour because I don't see the effort, I don't see the consistency, and I don't see the passion. I don't see it in those players. We're fucking shit. Sesko is not good enough at Man United. We needed a better striker and midfielders and defence. The problem is, Mr. Luke Everington, no one's going to put it in. No one's putting that in. The club won't back Amorim unless we get rid of players. They've already come out and stated that. They won't get rid of players unless we get rid. They won't bring in anyone. So we're basically back to sell to buy. So the defence is on its knees. The midfield is pants. And as for the attack, the main guy who's going to get any shit today is going to be Sesko. The main guy that's getting any shit today is Sesko. And I do feel sorry for him. Like, he had 3 chances that he should have taken. That is on him. Again, but there's no service. There is no service to him. Let's be honest. Let's call a spade a spade. Has Sesko really been given any service? Has Sesko really been given a chance? He's had 3 opportunities to score 3 goals today. He hasn't taken all 3 of them. And that is disappointing. But that is down to a lack of confidence. That's down to a lack of positivity in his self-belief. But he's going to get a lot of pelters, and I think justified. I back him as a player. He is one of my favourites, but the more this goes on and the more games Sesko goes without a goal, then we're in big trouble. We're in massive, massive trouble of not putting the ball in the net. We're relying on other players in the team to get that ball into the net. When you've got strikers on the pitch, you expect those strikers to score. And they aren't doing it. But they aren't doing it. And it's massively frustrating. Because you would have thought he would have taken at least 1 or 2 of those opportunities and put the ball in the net. And he doesn't take none of them. And if from a manager's point of view, it's going to be a frustration because Amorim's looking at this thinking, this is why I wanted Ollie Watkins. Because at least he can put the ball in the net. At least he can put away an opportunity. He wanted Ollie Watkins. And now, looking at it in hindsight, I can see why he wanted Ollie Watkins. Because look what Ollie Watkins is doing for Villa right now. He's putting the ball in the back of the net nearly every fucking game. That's the type of striker we needed at this football club. And I think United saw an opportunity for Sesko because they didn't want Sesko to piss off to Newcastle. I think Man United just deliberately went for Sesko so he didn't go to the tomb. That's all I see why United got Sesko. That's the only reason I can justify Sesko going to Manchester United so he didn't end up at Barcode FC. And I think Manchester United basically just wanted to piss Newcastle off a lot more because Newcastle got called Rejection FC in the summer of 2025. That's the only reason I can justify why we went for Sesko. But now looking at it in the bigger picture, we should have got Ollie Watkins. And if we had Ollie Watkins in that team today, he might have buried all 3 of those chances Sesko had. But we don't know that because Ollie Watkins is in a Villa shirt still. So, there's not a lot of positives from today's game, unfortunately. there's not really any positive that you can take away from today's performance. I thought the first half it was dull, 46 minutes wasted watching pure slow crap football again. What I saw against Wolves was exactly the same that I've seen today. I've not seen any improvement. I've not seen United go any further upwards. I think we're just slowly getting worse, and I think Amorim, I don't think doesn't know what he's doing. I think we all can clarify. I think Amorim's probably going to get sacked anyway. I think it will happen, and I think the inevitable will just come through in the end. That we will be losing another manager, and if we do sack him, then I don't know what we do. But we can't just keep repeating the cycle every fucking season because that ain't going to work. But I think there's going to be a lot of critics that are going to look at Amorim's tactics and this approach today thinking, how many more of these players are we going to keep chucking in when the going gets tough that we can't produce anything? It's basically Learner Driver FC. It's basically Learner Driver FC at Manchester United. You might as well put L plates on the back of every player's shirt at that club because it's literally L plates Learner Driver. It's just absolutely horrific that I thought we would actually win. And again, I called it the other day. Don't be surprised if we don't beat Leeds. And I've got it right again. I said against Wolves, don't be surprised if we don't get a result against Wolves. Or L for losers. Exactly. We are losers. Manchester United are a bunch of losers. We are just a horrific football club that's meant to be aiming to get back to the top. We ain't got no chance getting back to the top anytime soon. Not with these players. Not with this manager. I've not seen anything change in 2 weeks. I've not seen any sign of improvement. I think gradually we're just grinding to a halt. We're like a train that has basically run out of fuel, and we need to get to like a bunker. It's the same old United, same old fucking story. It's like this every fucking season. There's not enough investment put into the summer window or even in January, which we completely ignore anyway. We've got players here that have had their chance now that haven't been moved on. But people will say, well, we have got injuries. We've got all of these players at AFCON. Does it look like I give it shit about people's excuses? I'm not here to cover United's excuses. United knew about AFCON. United knew that they were going to lose Ahmad, Mbeumo and Mazraoui to AFCON in the summer. They knew that from the start. They knew this. So they can't really use that as an excuse. And you can't really use the injuries as an excuse either. But again, that is because Amorim is deploying a formation that doesn't work. So I have sympathy for Fernandes because he's having to fucking run around everywhere on that pitch because he's been played in a deep lying midfield role, which he ain't comfortable with. As for Mason Mount, injury prone FC, has the best ever shirt number on the back of his on the back of his back, is injury prone, needs to be shifted in the summer. Kobe Mainu doesn't even get a look in, got somehow picked up an injury in training, which made his situation even worse, so he's not in the fray at the moment. But De Ligt and Maguire have both been injured since November, so that's nearly 3 fucking months of injuries to Maguire and De Ligt, who are still both not fit. I just don't know. Why did you sign Mason Mount in the first place? Because Ten Hag wanted Mason Mount. That was a Ten Hag signing. Ten Hag wanted Mason Mount. And look at the situation right here, right now. It's a fucking shocking one. It really, really is shocking. Because we could have done with Mason Mount today. We could have done with Fernandes. We could have done with De Ligt and Maguire. Even Mainu. We could have done with Ahmad, Mbeumo and Mazraoui all in that team. AFCON came at a bad time. There's no excuse. I don't really like the African Cup of Nations. It's just a BTEC fucking Carabao Cup competition. And as for the injuries, well, that is on Amorim because he plays a shit formation that we all know doesn't fucking work. He then switches it to a 4-4-2 midway through the closing stages of the game, which is too little, too fucking late. There was no rescue in that game today. There was no rescue in that game. I'm not celebrating a draw. I'm not celebrating a point. 2 points from 6 is fucking horrendous. That's like watching National League South football. I'm sorry. Even in the National League South, there's a lot more entertainment than watching this pile of shit week in, week out. I don't understand why we do it. I don't understand why we actually do what we do at this football club. I don't understand the approach. I don't understand the tactics. And I don't understand what football we're trying to play. I don't get what Amorim's trying to do. I'm really confused on how he's trying to set us up. And I know what he's doing. He's trying to set us up to fail. It could be sabotage. It could be being done deliberately to say to the board, give me some signings, give me some players. I can't do anything with what I've got. It could be that, but we don't know this. We don't know this. Until we get formative answers, we don't know what Amorim's trying to do. I didn't get the first half. I thought 46 minutes of bullshit again. 3 chances on goal, none of them get taken. Leeds hit the post through Calvert-Lewin. I mean, if that would have gone in, we would have been 1-0 down at half-time. Is he trying to sack himself? Maybe. But I think Amorim, I'm troubled by, you look at the bench, what's he meant to do? All you've got on the bench is basically kids. And then apart from them, you've got Malacia, who shouldn't even be here. Joshua Zirkzee, who doesn't even want to play for the club anymore. And then a backup goalkeeper in Biinda, who shouldn't even be here either. Like, what was he meant to do from the bench? But fair play for him to bring in Zirkzee on. He could have easily said, I'm not bringing you on, because what you did against Wolves was shit and unacceptable to the club, because you gave away the opportunity for Wolves to score their goal. But fair play for him to bring in Zirkzee on, because if he doesn't find that assist, we don't find our equaliser, we lose this game 1-0. And then Ruben Amorim gets a lot of pelters for it. And I still think Amorim will get pelters today, because there was so much more we could have done with that team in the second half to freshen things up and change things. But you look at the bench, I mean, we'll go through the players on the bench he had available, and it's nothing more than a shocker. It's nothing more than shocking to see what he had on the bench. So this was the United bench. Fredrickson, Biinda, Kukonki, Malacia, Montano, Jack Fletcher, Tyler Fletcher, Lacey and Zirkzee. That was the United bench today. What was Amorim meant to do? What was Amorim meant to do in the second half? He's basically stuck with a bunch of school kids on the bench. He's basically stuck with a bunch of school kids on the bench. The Fletcher brothers are only on the bench because of their dad's famous name and because their dad played for United and he's considered a legend. And then you had Zirkzee and Malacia. And that was it. What could you have done? You couldn't do anything. Like, you could have chucked Shea Lacey on, I suppose. I don't know why he got ignored. I would like to see Shea Lacey get some first-team football. Obi, God knows why he wasn't on the bench either. Don't understand that. It's just a bloody mess. Today is just another weekend ruined. Another weekend that looked great from yesterday, because obviously Luke Littler won the World Darts Championship. He's now a 2-time world champion and back-to-back champion. And I thought United would have got a result. I thought we'd go to Ellen Road and win. But I looked at it realistically and I thought there's no chance of beating it. At least you didn't lose. But the problem is, Adam, I'm not going to accept that, mate. I'm not here for win, lose or draw. I'm here to win. United should be beating Wolves. We should be beating Leeds. There is no excuse. United have bottled it today. United have thrown away an easy 3 points. And yes, Leeds have got this long unbeaten run that no one really gives a fuck about. Because you can't really gloat if you're just scraping draws here, there and everywhere and a few wins here, there as well. At the end of the day, I could go on an unbeaten run. It's not that difficult. But there was an opportunity for Manchester United to win that game. We should have spurred on and found that winning goal. And we didn't get it. We've had to settle for another disappointing draw. A frustrating point. And people will celebrate this. And this is what fucks me off. People are out there just accepting these standards. Accepting these points. Accepting these draws here and there. If you want to accept that, then fine. But that's your mentality as a person. And it shows the mentality of some of these supporters and some of this fan base. Because some of you lot are in fucking denial. I'm really sorry. If you're going to settle for a draw and settle for a point, you're in denial. You're in utter denial. We should be beating Leeds. We should be beating Wolves. That should have been 6 points from 6. 2 points from 6 is sackable. I don't want Amorim here. This isn't working. This is going to be another manager sacked at the end of the season, or he's going to walk. You might as well just do it now. Do it now. Get an interim in who's actually going to play some decent football with the players we've got. I can't wait for AFCON to end. I can't wait for these injured 5 to come back in. Because we need players. We do need players. We haven't got quality in this team. But at the end of the day, I'm not going to be live for much longer because I've got better things to do than talking about United at this moment. Sackable after we have to play 2008 born players. You're so smart. But at the end of the day, we need to sign players, my friend. We need to back the manager. We need to spend in January, and the club won't do it unless Amorim changes the formation. So he's basically being dictated to on the pitch. He's being dictated to. He's a puppet on the strings, right? He's a puppet on the strings, and he's being told, if you don't change the formation, if you don't change the setup, we're not bringing you players in. We're not going to get players. So that's dictatorship. The Ineos and the Glazers are nothing more than dictators. They are dictators using Amorim as a puppet on the string. It's an absolute fucking shit show again. 2 games in a row, it's 2 points from 6. He's got no players, no transfers, 10 first team out, people calling for his head. We can't keep using injuries and AFCON as an excuse. The players we had left should still be good enough to get us results and get us wins. But it shows the type of quality we don't have. Agate's not good enough. Casemiro's not good enough. Dorgu ain't good enough. Delo is shit. Lamens just stands there like a statue for the Leeds goal. Sesko isn't good enough. Xerxes has one blinding pass and everyone waxes lyrical over it. I'm sorry. United have fucked up again. 2 games in a row, we have fucked up. Again, Leeds and Wolves have better benches. I'm getting off in about 4 minutes anyway because I've got better things to do than talking about United. But yeah, Leeds and Wolves have better bench options. But again, United need to back Amorim then. Go and get him some signings. Go and get him some players. Bring some players in. They should have hijacked the Semenyo deal. They should have got Semenyo. There's no excuses. They need to go and get 2 midfielders. If they want Belieber, you go and get Belieber now. You go and get Belieber now. If you want Conor Gallagher and Ruben Neves, bring all 3 of them in. I don't care how much it's going to cost. People say, oh, United don't have money. The club have come out and said they do have money. So there's no excuse not to get Belieber, is it? Because there was 65 million for Semenyo. There's no excuse not to get Conor Gallagher. There's no excuse not to get Ruben Neves. There's no excuse not to go and get a striker. Semenyo's a quality player. Bristol City had him. Exactly. And now he's pissing off to Man City. Look at the players he's brought there. They've all worked. But without them, we are shit. We can't just wait for them to all come back. We don't know how long Mainu or Mount are out for. Fernandes ain't going to be back till the Manchester derby. We can't afford to be chucking points away against Burnley, going out the FA Cup and then getting steamrolled by Man City and Arsenal. Our season is going to be over next week because we're going to lose to Burnley and then we're going to get knocked out the FA Cup. Our season's over. Face the facts. Our season's going to be over in a matter of a week because that means at the FA Cup, no European football. You lose to Burnley, everyone above us leapfrogs us. You're going to have to hope Fulham do something against Liverpool. You're going to have to hope Man City steamroll fucking Chelsea. You're going to have to expect miracles. You're going to have to expect miracles for Manchester United to turn this season around. Because after that today, I'm done with it. I am so done with these players. I'm done with this manager. And I'm done with some sections of this fan base and supporters who don't have a bloody clue about the situation that is going on. We are using excuses. We're not backing the manager. We might as well just sack him because that's what they want to do anyway. They are letting another manager fail before it's even begun. Amorim's a dead man walking after today. I'm done with him. I'm done with the formation he uses. I'm done with the setup he goes with. I'm done with Amorim. And I'm done with these players because 2 points against Wolves and Leeds is fucking shit. Might as well fucking go and watch League 2 football. Because that is a lot more entertaining than watching this pile of dog shit week in, week out. It is fucking embarrassing. And the only one that can hold his head held high coming out of Ellen Road was Matthias Cunha. He's the only one that can come out with his head held high. He's the only one that works his butt off. He's the only one who puts effort in. He's the only one that gives you consistent work rate. If he didn't find that goal, he would have been crucified for it. But fair play to Xerxes, fair play to Cunha, but people celebrating a draw and a point are in denial. We should have beat Wolves. We should have beat Leeds no matter what. We had players that were good enough to get a result. 2 weeks in a row, 2 games in a row, United have fucked up again. And if we don't get European football, we are going to be in trouble again next season. And then the season after, if we don't get European football again, is going to get even worse. United are in a crisis. Man United are in a crisis. What do we do now? We now need to look forward to the Burnley game, which is on Wednesday night away at Turf Moor. It is an 8:15 kickoff. So we are going to need to beat Burnley now. How we are going to beat Burnley, I don't know, because it will be the same squad again that played against Wolves and Leeds today. Because there'll be no signings brought in before Burnley. We won't be bringing players in before the Burnley game. We've got no chance. We're absolutely screwed. Man United are in a crisis. What does Amorim do? What do Ineos do? What do the Glazers do? Do they get players in? Do they give him signings? Because I tell you what, you're going to have to do it, United. We can't just go with the same squad against Burnley and Brighton and Man City and Arsenal, can we? If I was Ruben, I would leave. I would go. I would just walk. After this today, I wouldn't be surprised if he's gone by the end of the month. Don't be surprised. But I'm going to go and try and at least enjoy the rest of my weekend. I'm going to go and try and enjoy the last of it, because talking about these useless shits is incredible sometimes. I'm done with them for the weekend. I don't want to talk about them no more. Leeds 1, Manchester United 1. This has been your full-time match reaction. Thank you to everybody that's contributed in the live chat. Thank you for all the likes. I'm sorry it's not been that much of people viewing today. God knows why people haven't watched a match reaction today. Got no idea. But hope everybody enjoyed what we were talking about and stuff. What do we do now? We have to beat Burnley on Wednesday night, but good luck with that. Enjoy the rest of the weekend. Stay safe. Be nice. Be kind to each other. You're all legends. You're all legendary. See you all on the next one.